All right, we're live. What's up, guys? It's 4:48 p.m. on a Thursday afternoon, and we are live for the new Pokemon stream. Of course, this time we're not showing off Pokemon. I have Hololive in front of me. Ooh. I don't even remember buying these. When did I buy these? So these just arrived, and so that means we have bought them. Let's go get a description going. Hololive. Why have you not watched Breaking Bad? Mike Side put out that short, the Breaking Bad short, and you are wondering why I haven't watched it. Well, we actually watched the first episode of it, and I got bored super fast. I was like, I don't care. We have this thing in America where a lot of our popular TV shows are just like about drug dealing, basically. And to be honest, I don't identify with it. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't make me intrigued. I don't get like impressed by it. I go like, whoa, cool. I don't do any of those things. Drugs are, to me, they're like a nuisance. All right, let's see. So the plot, it's hard for me. It's hard if that's the main part of the story. It's hard for me to enjoy it because it's just not interesting to me. But I've heard what the story is about. You know, cancer's teacher gets into selling drugs to pay for his cancer treatment, and because he's a chemist, he's really good at it. So I've heard the plot of the story just doesn't interest me. All right, let's see. We're always looking for something to watch, so it's not anything other than that, because we never have enough. So we have Blooming Radiance Hololive. Blooming Radiance Hololive. Just watch Teletubbies. 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 What is this called again? Say ho ho oh. First edition Blooming Radiance. I gotta say it right. No. This isn't Blooming Radiance, is it? No. Okay, there we go. See, my brain was like, that doesn't feel right. It's Elite Spark. Haha, got it. Elite Spark is the name of this set. All right, we're going to say Hololive. Elite Spark. We're going to say new. Let's see. Rocket Mewtwo Break. Close. Live card shop. Let's see. What else could we say? We could say, who is the closest break? I feel like the Rocket Mewtwo is really cool, and it is not that far away. Actually, Chilling Rain also. Chilling Rain break. All right, there we go. I enjoyed Dan to Dan. The theme grew on me. Just watch Trafalgar D. Water Law. Hello, how are you feeling today? I'm feeling all right. We got these Elite Sparks. They're fresh from the case, so that will be the higher price for all of you searchers. Let's see, because there will be searchers. You know, we had one case, and the searchers got what they wanted, and then it just died instantly. The case was done. Like, no one would touch it. So I've learned a lot from that. All right. Give me a moment. I want to talk to my supplier about the price on this. Wait, what did we pay for this? Oh, okay. No, okay. So we got a better price on this than I thought. All right. I was looking at the wrong one once again. Twice. So we did all right. We're going to be able to make some money on this. Divided by 12. Is that right? Divided by 12 box. How many packs in a box? Do I have to open it to know? Is it 12 packs in a box? I don't like that. 12 packs in a box is weird. Do you like Yu-Gi-Oh? I remember Yu-Gi-Oh. Whoa, my laptop is so hot. This is an old laptop. We gotta get a new laptop, everybody. Something wrong with this laptop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, 12 packs. I was truly a Pokemon maniac when I was younger. I was an absolute Pokemon fanatic. For me, Yu-Gi-Oh didn't matter because all that mattered was Pokemon. Now, I respect there's Yu-Gi-Oh card collectors out there. I respect that. For me, all this time later, it's still Pokemon. Let's see. All right, we've got a target price. So it's going to be $6.50. $6.50 a pack. And do we have a Hololive? Union Arena, Weiss, Magic, Topps, MetaZoo, Marvel, other card set. We're going to place it under other card set, okay? It's under other card set. Unless we have Hololive in the extended menu. Do we have it over here? No, we do not. Hololive, Elite, Spark, $6.50. Now, if you want a box of them, 6.5 times 12, it's 78. And if you want a case of them, I might be able to get you a whole case of them, okay? So give me a second. We're going to get you a better price if you want a whole case. I do that, right? You know that? All right, so if you want a whole case, I will do a lower price of $780. All right, there it is. $12.75, $780. Oop. That is Digimon. Did I not get rid of the Digimon? I thought Digimon's gone. There we go. All right. So buying a whole case is like getting 2 booster boxes for free based on my pricing here in the live stream. And then we open that live and it's very fun. If you want a booster box and we keep it sealed and ship it to you, I could probably go even lower. All right. Let's just see. I'll place this up over here. And I gotta blow my nose. Well, shucks. I've never seen so many goddamn anime girls. Yeah, it's a lot of anime girls. Welcome, guys. Give me a good price on Digimon. Yes, maybe I could actually. Okay, that was me blowing my nose. So, Digimon, we've got this one open box. This is all that remains. Well, it looks like I got one pack left. You can have the box topper. There is only one box and I'm sold out. I'm actually sold out after this one pack. I sold the rest already. So, because as it turns out, you can actually liquidate super duper duper easily. Anything you want on eBay. eBay will buy anything you want off of it. So it's supposed to be $12. I'll do $10 on this one pack. If you want to get rid of it for me, I'm taking it off the menu. So if you want to do $10 for this last pack, you will get this along with it. And it's just a nice thing, isn't it? Well, shucks, I ain't never seen somebody get... I didn't even see what he did, Alex. All right, so this is $10. I'll place it up here, actually. I'll do it, says Fernando. Oh, you're the best, Fernando. So here it is, Elite Spark. Elite Spark is here, $6.50 per pack, $78 per box, a completely fresh case. I know you're interested in fresh cases, those who collect Hololive. I'm going to set these on the floor now. Where shall they go? They shall go right here, out of the way. Promoting Unreal. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see. I'm just curious. Grabbing this. Very nice. Ooh, what's that? So we have this really big Anthony Kalura order to start the stream out. It's funny, I just mentioned Anthony Kalura last night. I was like, I wonder where Anthony is. Because we hadn't seen some of our really big customers, and I do consider him a big customer. And let's see what he's up to. Slab away payment. Oh, hell yeah, dude. All right, one gigantic slab away payment, $1,000. Let's see what you had. I don't remember what you had. Anthony Kalura. Here it is. This goes down to 2,000 remaining. Well, you got something expensive from December. It's from December, so whatever it is, it's good. Anything from before January is good. You officially have a good price on your Dragonite if you've been paying close attention to that, Anthony, because it sold twice for 6.5 recently. Well, you got yours at 6.5 with no taxes, so yours is officially now cheaper than the market. And it probably only goes up from here if I had to guess. I mean, I guess it could go back down, but I don't think it will. I don't see his card. What do he has? He's got to have a real good one for it to be so expensive. Okay, it must be in the other box. He's got a real good one. Tammy brought back snacks. There we go. My aunt came back. Do-do-do-do-do. And brought me back. Skibidi-beep-bee. You guys heard that song? All right, all right. Now, I thought there was, let's see. I thought there was actually 2 Anthony Kalura orders. Am I not seeing that? Let me refresh on this. So weird. I could have sworn Anthony Kalura sent me another payment so that it was 2 separate payments. Let me double check. We're going to check in the... because I thought it might have been in the Venmo app. Crazy how long it took me to get Venmo running. Should have done it way sooner, huh? No? No, I guess I'm just going crazy. Was it Cash App? Alright, I'm just going crazy. That's all it is. 2 slab away or just 1? It's just 1. He had a real big one. We have a Fernando Nunez. Digimon. Oh, yeah, there's that Digimon, huh? Where'd I put him? I just put him somewhere. Here it is. Alright, so you got it cheaper than it was in the menu, and you got this box topper. Alright. I think Karis is off work now. I heard her walk by there. Playing a little Minecraft music. I really like the Minecraft music in the background. The only problem is you can hear it too many times and it gets boring. Jade Memory, Cyber Draymond, Sakuyamon, Grape Memory Boost, Grape, Blue Scramble, oops, Agumon, Wanyamon, Minomon, and Dramogamon. Alright, Digimon, they're the same as, they're better than Pokemon. I don't really know what was in that pack, if it was very good. We have sold through all of these Digimon packs now, though. Especially with the help of Phoebe. There's your bonus box topper. Mr. Fernando, let's see if I can find your bag. Here's a Francisco. Here's a Fernando. Haha. Anime better. LMAO, NHCC got hyped at 69 and Twisted Panties. Who's got Twisted Panties? All right. Clicking on this. Hey, mister, I sent a payment around 5:48 for a spot in the sun and moon break. I didn't see it on the live stream, but I might have missed it, so I wanted to double check with you. All right, so before we do any break, we always show the names off in the break. So you should just be able to look the names up. What you should do is head right over to that and look up the names, okay? If we missed your order, we definitely owe you $40. So you definitely want to do that. Go back to the stream with the box break and watch the beginning of the stream. Not the beginning, but the beginning of the break. And just rewatch the part where we show all the names off in the break, because I always do that. I always show the names. And if you don't see Colton Pinder, drop me a timestamp, drop me a link with the time, and I'll go check it with my own eyes as well, and then we'll get you that $40, okay? So it's pretty easy to get that double checked. Okay. Marco Arboleto break on the best product, Mewtwo break spot. Yeah. I was talking to you about that. So I really like these just because of the fact that it's so hard to get cards to grade 10 that not only do you eliminate the RNG of pulling a bad card, compared to opening a booster pack. Breaks versus booster packs. What's better? Well, with the breaks, you're definitely getting Mewtwo. You're going straight after him, and it's definitely already graded 10. So you actually remove so much junky RNG compared to opening packs that I think dollar for dollar, you're actually better off in the breaks. That's my theory. I think I'm correct. We've shown the math behind this before. Let's see. Very good. Here's another great example, like the Lugia. Let's see if ChatGPT can take a stab at how much money on average you will have to spend to pull a PSA 10 Lugia Silver Tempest. How much money on average, a very important idea on average, would it cost to pull and grade PSA 10, my own Lugia Silver Tempest Alt Art 186. So you can actually ask ChatGPT a question like that, and it can pump out an answer. Grading your own Lugia involves a few costs. The raw card cost. If you're pulling it from a pack, you need to factor in the cost of every booster pack. The pull rate is very low, about 1 in every 800 packs, which is about 1 in every 22 booster boxes. However, if you buy the raw card, a near mint copy costs around $500 to $700. Yeah, but those cards are always bad. Those cards don't actually grade 10. So you can go buy like a raw version off of eBay, but I promise you those ones have already been farmed by graders and by the people who are posting them for sale themselves. They've already seen it with their own eyes and gone, this won't grade 10. Grading cost. PSA charges depend on the declared value of the card. So it posts the PSA cost, shipping and insurance, $30 in insurance. The odds of a 10 at PSA, look, see, odds of about 25 to 30% is what it's claiming. Total cost, the best case scenario, a lucky pull and grading. If you pull it in the first box, you could get it for very cheap. If you buy it raw, it could cost you very little. The worst case, multiple tries. Oh, wow. If you need 3 raw copies to land a PSA 10, the cost can exceed $3,000. Let me ask ChatGPT one more question. Exclude purchasing a single off eBay and only calculate the average cost from pulling from booster boxes. Because we don't bet on being able to pull a Lugia from the first box out of 22 boxes every time, because that's just not how it works. We want the average, right? So one person will pull a Lugia, out of one box, but then 21 people won't. See what I'm saying? And we don't care about the purchasing of a single, an ungraded copy off eBay, because those just don't grade 10. Very often, those are the cards that won't grade 10, and the person's just eliminating the card as a raw card. Well, it looks like it can't figure it out. It's stuck. I don't know if it understands my message. Hold on, let's see. Remove. Oh, no. I want the average cost, though, and exclude using eBay. There we go. Maybe I give it simpler instructions. To get the average cost, break it down with realistic probabilities. Okay, there it goes. So it's setting the price of the booster boxes at $130. That's old data. The booster box for Silver Tempest is very different now. I think it's like $300. There's a lot of work, huh? Silver Tempest booster box, yeah, $300. All right, so let me tell it a booster box is $300 today. All right. I now understand the Silver Tempest booster box is currently priced at $300. All right, so now it's doing it at $300. So here we go. So it says your total average cost for one Lugia is $7,000. That's on average. That assumes that you had to open up 22 boxes and that 1 of every 3 of the cards graded 10. Now, you will end up with a bunch of extra pulls. So, yes, it will cost you $7,000 to get to this point, but also you'll have all the other pulls to try and grade and make money from as well. So the calculation's not perfect. So you have to kind of figure that part out too. Like, how much money can I get back grading the other cards that I also pulled during that time period? But what we really wanted was average cost, $7,000. So it's my theory that PSA 10s are underpriced because people don't understand how bad the odds are to pull a card out of a booster box is. And they don't really understand how bad the odds are of getting a PSA 10. They underestimate the difficulty. So they waste a lot of money on booster boxes, right? Like there's that old joke. Oh, I did it, honey. I finally got my PSA 10 Lugia back from PSA. And then they go, it only cost me $3,000 to get an $800 card. You know, that's the joke. It's the card, you could have just bought it for $800, but you spent $3,000 pulling it, right? So I really think that's mostly what happens. And then, you know, there's that average price, right? So with ChatGPT, we're able to get an average cost of getting 1 PSA 10 Lugia. But then maybe you got a PSA Lugia 9 and a PSA Lugia 8. You got to subtract that. But you got to do all the work of selling that too, by the way. That costs labor. So that's not free. And if something goes wrong, it can even cost you more. But so, you know, selling off all of your bad pulls or the pulls you didn't want, that's a lot of labor. Compare that to just jumping into this break for $40. It's definitely a 10, and it's 1 in 27, and you're just going straight toward the Lugia, right? If we go get a Silver Tempest box, pretend this is a Silver Tempest box. Let's say you open $40 of booster packs from this Silver Tempest box. Well, what if Lugia's not even in the box? On average, he's only in the box once every 22 boxes. In this break, he's 100% in the break. He's definitely there. So this is, again, why I talk a lot about the breaks and why I find them so fascinating. I think dollar for dollar, they're a better deal than booster packs, but they're not as exciting. Booster packs are a lot more exciting. And there's no middle pulls. There's no, like, you don't get holos, you don't get reverse holos, you don't get Vs or VMAXs, you don't get any of that. You just go straight for the card. So think about all that. What do you guys think of that? When we talk about that, what do you guys think about all that? Okay, so that went to the Mewtwo, right? We put you in the Mewtwo? We put you in the Mewtwo. Okay, so Mr. Marco, that breakdown, that odds breakdown, it's what inspired me to host these more because I felt that it led toward better outcomes for my audience. Now, I make the same money whether you open a pack or you open a break. It doesn't matter. I make the same money. Oh, wait a second. Maybe we did put you in here, did we? No, I don't think we did. I make the same money whether you go into a break or whether you open a pack. I just know that, on average, my audience is getting more from the breaks. And it doesn't feel like that for 26 people. It feels like they lost $40. But you were going to lose $40 opening Silver Tempest anyways. So if you went after Lugia by opening the regular booster packs, you were going to lose money anyways. Yes, you will have some holos and you will have some Vs and the fun of opening those packs. But from a mathematics point of view, this is your better odds. Maybe it's a bit dry and a bit less entertaining. I don't know. Maybe I could make it more entertaining by having a bunch of small raw card pulls in the breaks. That's something I've thought about. But the problem is if we do that, I got to up this to like 29 spots to get about $80 of raw cards. And then it's just like tricky. I got to like load them all up. So we can just improve your odds by getting rid of all those extra pulls. They have a cost. The extra pulls have a cost. And people often don't even want those. People often don't want the extra pulls. They just want this card. So that's my thoughts on it. But I've thought of like optimizing it. Like let's say we could get raw singles that people really do want. Really good raw singles. Toss in maybe 3, 4, or 5 of those. And then increase this by maybe 2 more spots. You know, it might work. Might make the break seem more entertaining. Someone open a pack and prove Mr. Wrong. No, I think I've been proven right. Like, how about the chase for the Paldean Magikarp? That's been insane. Okay, Marco, he's in here now, right? I put him in here, yeah? Yeah, I did. I just put him in here. He's in the middle, yeah. So we're going to tick this up to 7 out of 14. Officially halfway done. All right. Very nice. It's sort of, in a dry way, it sort of reveals the more clear and obvious nature of Pokemon booster packs. That they are just kind of a break, aren't they? Everything's a break. This is a break. this is a break. In this break, one of the 36 booster packs has the best card in it, and you hope to be the one to pull it, but your odds are 1 in 36. All right, so... Oh man, this song's so good. Jacob Hayes, 5 of the Final Fantasy Legacy Collection. Final Fantasy, guys. Jacob, you're going to open these and not get in that Cloud break? That Cloud's a good card, man. He's really good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many spots are in the Lugia PSA 10? A total of, what does it say, 27? A total of 27. At 27 spots, one of the spots actually doesn't stay in here. It gets moved over to this guy. So one person will pull the star card and get moved over here. It's as if he never lost it or got a bad pull, right? That's what I mean. So it's really more like 1 in 26. At 1 in 26, I'm able to pay for the card and make a profit margin and then offer you guys a break that's mathematically better than actually opening Silver Tempest packs. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these. But yeah, you know, if I could get singles that people really like, they go, whoa, those are some good singles. Maybe we would figure that part out too, because I think that's the missing component with the breaks. The breaks already move pretty fast sometimes. Especially the lower the margin goes, they move real fast sometimes. Or like if it's a good card, like I found this card that's underpriced, it's growing in price, it looks fantastic, everyone discovers they want it real bad. I think Lugia is that right now, actually. At 1 in 27, he's a way better valuation than like the Altart Giratina or like the Rayquaza VMAX or the Moonbryon. So I think him at 127 is very popular. Ready? Here goes. Let's see. We got Sabin. There we are. Ooh. Do you use a really comfy chair when you work? Just curious. I have a Herman Miller chair. I used to have a cushiony chair that eventually broke from usage because I was using it so much. Look at that Zeus card. Nice. So these cards contain a chance for a signature Final Fantasy card. Yeah, actually, Final Fantasy is a perfect example of this concept that you get a 100% chance at a Lugia. What am I talking about there? You know how we've been opening this? We've been opening this set to shit, man. Look at this. See this? I think I've sold you guys like 7 or 8 cases of Hidden Trials. You want to know how many times we pulled Signature Lightning? 0 times. Not even once. We have never pulled Lightning Signature. That would make pulling it very exciting. But if I had actually just gone out and bought a Signature and just hosted a break for you guys, after everyone lost their money, somebody would 100% get that a signature. And so that's another reason why those are so interesting, these breaks, because it guarantees someone's going to get a Lugia. Yeah, people are going to lose money. People were going to lose money anyways when they opened up Silver or Tempest, because everyone doesn't get to have a Lugia. But the difference is this. You go through a whole case of Silver Tempest, maybe that's a bad case. This is never a bad case. He's always here. He's 100% there, and he's already graded 10. It's amazing, actually. So I really think that that's a very important idea, and you'll probably see more breaks showing up over time. And people will complain about it, the gambling nature of it. They'll complain. They will say like, oh, well, I don't like it. But it's like, I would say, put on your thinking cap, do some heavy analysis of the mathematics behind booster boxes. And you realize it's really Pokemon that takes you to the cleaner with their extremely low odds in their booster boxes. But the booster boxes are better sort of like crafted. You know, they're like the slot machines at the casino. They keep you playing. They go bling, 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 bling. When you're playing, you're like, you kind of get addicted to that feeling. It's got like an ASMR to it when you're opening up packs. You know, there's no ASMR here. So it's very fascinating to think about. Jacob Hayes. It's a subject of deep fascination for me. This is why I always end up doing good at whatever I'm working on in life, is because I get very fascinated by how things work. I get very fascinated. I get obsessed with whatever I'm learning about. Like when I play a video game, I get obsessed with it. Here's Jacob Hayes. I could make an even better break for you guys if I just didn't take any profits. Wouldn't that be nice? But I think if I wanted to be able to make the same profit and offer a better break, then it's actually my job to be able to predict whatever Pokemon cards are most underpriced on the market and still highly desirable. So here's what I've come up with. I've come up with the Dark Espeon from Neo Destiny. Now, I think the reason this one is underpriced is because Neo Destiny packs are $1,000 a pack right now. You don't pull Dark Espeon every time. There's a lot of bad pulls in that set. So that's why he's underpriced. Rocket Mewtwo is going to show up in the new Rocket set. So this guy, relative to the cost of the new Rocket Gloria Team Rocket set, I think he's underpriced. And then Lugia, when you analyze the Sword and Shield alt-arts, he's got to be one of the best-looking, underpriced alt-arts. So I've done that analysis, and so I've bought these cards as if I was buying them like an investment for myself, and then I offer them as breaks. See, very clever. All right, let's see. Here's Steven Sistrunk paying down Dratini. Hell yeah, dude. House to Q. Nice and short. I'm talking a lot, but there's a couple orders. But I'm sure it's not too bad. Jump on in. This goes down to 630. Boop. All right. Garrett Nadal, two lesbians. All right, you got it, Mr. Garrett. Do you think trading cards should be required to put odds of rarity on the boxes? Yes! Yes, that should be required. Of course, it's crazy that that's not required. That's the craziest part right there. So, like, you'll get somebody who will complain that our breaks are too much like a casino. You know, they'll say it's like too much like the slot machine, which I will say it's just not, because it's money for product. It's not money for money. It's money for product. But then they'll turn around and they'll go buy Pokemon boosters. And Pokemon doesn't even reveal the odds. You know exactly your odds here. This is actually more honest than a Pokemon booster box. You know exactly your odds. Yeah, Pokemon not revealing the odds is not right. I've always disagreed with that. I thought, and this is why you make all these videos on YouTube, where you got like YouTubers opening, you know, like 3,000 packs of Silver Tempest in order to kind of fox out an average pull rate, which they sort of do. If you compile all the videos together, you get sort of an average. All right, two lesbians. Over here, you can just see the pull rate, and it's way more honest. I feel it's a much more honest system that way. All right. I thought they put odds on the box. They don't put odds on the... Some, like Topps does. Topps does it. Let's see. Hold on. They don't put odds on the box. Nah, there's no odds on here at all. They should have to post odds on their website. They don't do it. It's not right. You should have to know what your odds are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, 11 of these. Whoa. 11. He was further along than he looked. Sometimes I forget to update this. The Asian boxes have odds. The Asian boxes have odds? Oh, let me see. I think what you mean is Asian boxes tell you that you get an SR per box. But that's not the same as saying, how many packs do I need to open to get a Cynthia's Garchomp Altart? You see what I'm saying? So that's what people want. Those are the odds that are actually useful. Everyone knows you get a... You know, that's not complicated. You get an SR. Mr. Jorge Martinez, to Hello Kitty, if possible. If possible? Oh, it's possible. It's probable. But I have to stand up and go get more Hello Kitty. I'll be back now. Oops. China. I did 2 Birdie Straight Fuego, Fui Coco. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a box of Hello Kitty. I'm going to get some top loaders, and I'm going to get a drink because I'm actually pretty thirsty. I'll be right back. Okay, here we are. Ta-da! I'm back. Haha. Grab these. Yeah, what if I told you this Lugia was 1 every 22 boxes? Would you believe me? Sounds about right to me if you think about how many alt arts are in the set. 1 in 22 could even be low. This. And then if you realize only 1 in 3 Lugias are grading 10, and that the boxes cost $300 a box, 40 for 1 in 27 odds doesn't seem so crazy anymore. Wait, I don't need these to come out of here like that. Go back in. The real question is, what do we break next? That's the real question. How do we maximize value in the breaks? We should break something that it's going to double in price in the next 6 months. That's what we should be breaking. Whatever's going to double in price the fastest. Could be booster boxes. There are. All right. Let's open your Dark Explorers booster box. Here we are. Lovely. Break the Trafalgar Law Leader. You like that card a lot? I see you mentioning it a lot. Do you like it? I could break that. It's technically a separate franchise from Pokemon, so I don't think it competes with these other breaks. There we go. Lord Foe the Rings break. We are. All right. Ho-ho. We did a break on that Rocket Box Topper, remember? And then I sold one. So we did the break, I think it was around 500. And then we sold one for 1,000 right after. Because if you look on the market, there's none for sale. And the cheapest Topps box topper is like 1,000, like it's a ton of money. It's like $1,000. So that was a really good one to get to you guys, because that was like a product that was going up in price. People just didn't know about that product. And as a result, it was going up in price. Waifu Siggy break. Oh, yeah, Waifu Siggies. Have you seen the statement Pokemon put out today? No, let's see. If Pokemon put out a statement, I bet it shows up in my Instagram. Let's see. Pokemon statement. I know they did a direct, and they showed off the new game, Legend CA, a little bit. To be honest, Legend CA didn't look too exciting. How about Pokemon News? What did they say? You just tell me. Here it is. Pokemon is maximizing production on TCG products following high demand. For new TCG expansions, we are maximizing production to increase product availability upon release. We will continue to reprint impacted products. The current queue system on the Pokemon Center was being implemented to prevent resellers from being able to use bots to scoop up new releases. That system didn't quite work as well as planned this week, as fans apparently made their way through the queues but saw their orders canceled. Several steps taken by the Pokemon Company to stop resellers. So interesting. All right. Yes, so just like we said earlier, Pokemon is most likely going to reprint plenty of the new sets. Do not have fear. You will eventually get the set that you want. All right, let's see. Hey, it starts at $4.50. I didn't say my name. Maybe payment didn't go through. Don't know if someone got my spot. All right, let's see, Mr. Colton. No problem. So that would mean that you are owed $40. Let's make sure we don't have a $40 store credit for you on the right side already. All right, so I didn't see a store credit for you, so let's write you down for $40. Here's an idea: slow down the release of sets. Now that's already too slow. What are you talking about? they're at a good pace. They just got a really hot product. Colton Pinder, $40. Yeah, my wife likes it because it's cheap, Alex. I think if you're a little worried about the reprints, you're worried about modern sets, hit the vintage sets. That's my opinion. I don't think Pokemon's about to become unpopular. In fact, there's a new Pokemon game coming out, and the 30th anniversary is around the corner. But I think that the latest card sets are so expensive that you really could just wait. All right, so Colton Pinder, $40. Let's just do a quick search for you. How come Japanese Korean Eevee Heroes has 30 packs, but Prismatic only has 10? I don't know. Because Eevee Heroes wasn't especially set. There it is. Yeah, I don't know, man. Just got missed, I guess. Let me blow my nose, everybody. Hold on. All right. Yeah, so yeah, if you're a little worried about the latest sets, maybe look into vintage stuff that is already out of print, because they're not going to reprint. Let me show you something they're not going to reprint. They're not going to reprint this Rocket Returns rare coin, extremely rare coin. I mean, how many of these in the world are there? This is not mass produced, even like the booster packs were. So some items are rare in the hobby, and they're not getting any less rare. This is a nice card, for example. It's really nice. This one was even recently graded, 9.9. That's pretty good. Okay, Colton Pinder, thank you for that. Yesterday night, how about yesterday night? That was crazy with the live customs going off, huh? We have Alex saying he'll take a pack of the Hidden Trials. He's going to try and pull a signature out with one pack. Here goes, Mr. Alex. When you think about how many times we tried to pull a signature card out of these booster boxes, we should have just bought a signature card outright and just done a break on it. It will literally be more cost effective to have done that. Here's on average it is. Apkaloo. Delete message, Mr. Gonna loose it. What did Asmer ask? How's the December submission? Yeah. Oh my gosh, I have to sneeze again. These allergies are out of control. You know, I'm actually on an allergy medication that's giving me brain fog, and I got to sneeze like constantly. Man. Okay. No sneeze. My nose feels like it's got to sneeze really bad, but it's no sneeze, and now I'm getting sniffly nose. So, Alex. Let's see, Alex. Here we are. I think there's a haze over my area that's 100% pollen. It's crazy, dude. I've had 2 full weeks of allergies now, and we're going to head into week 3 next. How long is it going to last? I don't think allergies have ever been this bad for me before. Show off the silver coins. Yeah, we got some cool silver coins for sale, too, if you ever want to buy some precious metals. Precious metals are a more conservative investment. They look very good in your little portfolio. Some coins even work like Pokemon cards. For example, here is a SpongeBob coin for $195. So if you buy like a graded coin, it behaves similar to a Pokemon card. For example, this coin from 2020 has reached a valuation of $295, which is very divorced from the price of, you know, a troy ounce of silver. So this costs way more than a troy ounce of silver. What's going on here? Well, it turns out people will pay a very high premium if you've got a good-looking coin with a perfect grade on it. A 70 is a perfect grade. By the way, you see these coins in front of you? This is CGC. See? NGC, NGC, NGC. Guess who that is? The company who graded this is the same company. I'll show you by zooming. Same company. I guarantee you all they did was took their talent from NGC and they sent it over to CGC for coin grading. They said, hey, we're pretty good with coins, so we can take what we know about coin grading and apply it to Pokemon coins. Yeah, okay, let me sneeze. That's why I'm so confident in those CGC coins right there, because it's NGC. This is the authority on coin grading. There's this and another one called PCCG. So two coin grading companies have a complete monopoly on coin grading. And this is, I think, the more famous of the two. Yes, NGC. So this is why, with the whole Pokemon test card scandal, playtest scandal, everyone's like, CGC, they're going out of business. They're never going to go out of business because NGC is the top coin grading company, and the card grading doesn't even have to do well because they've already got a good business. So, it's like card grading for me. Like, TheCardconomist grading never has to go out of business because this channel's not going out of business. So the parent company is the most famous coin grading company in the world. That's CGC. So when people are like, oh, CGC, they're done for. I'll never buy from them again. They suck. They don't know what they're doing. They got money. They got institutional talent and experience. They're not going anywhere. You're foolish if you think CGC is going under tomorrow. So CGC is not going anywhere. I really don't think they're going. I could be wrong, of course. They're not going anywhere. And in a year, most people won't even care about the playtest scandal. That's how it really works. Let me ask you, how many of you guys still care about the BGS insurance fraud scandal? Do you guys remember that? Some of you don't even remember that. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that was this year. BGS, the CEO, caught in a giant insurance fraud scandal, and people were like, BGS, I don't want to grade with them. They're bad. I was like, nah, it doesn't matter. So I feel the same way about the playtest. When PSA makes a mistake, I feel the same way about PSA. It's like these companies make mistakes. That's just how it is. You either hate grading or you love grading, but it's not going to discourage me from grading with these massive companies. It's just not going to happen. And I would do this, though. Don't buy any playtest cards, okay? So that would be stupid. Playtest cards were a bad idea. Yugi Tao, he says, for the Espeon break. You got it, Yugi. Will you go to Beckett more? Yes. We'll be grading more with Beckett now. Yu-Gi-Oh's tighter grading standard kind of tells me that you have to look at the PSA 10 Gem Mint as pristine 10. And they don't have a Gem 10 anymore. They got PSA 9. Guess what? PSA 9 is not going to sell better than a CGC 10 Gem Mint. I don't even think PSA 9 sells better than BGS 9.5. So, yeah, it's BGS and CGC all the way now. That PSA, if it's the same, if my current orders in the queue, if they come back and they're graded just as harshly, and maybe they won't be graded just as harshly. Maybe I just got a really bad grader that day. Who knows? Could have just been a really crappy grader who's angry and very vicious about the grades. But if the grading is so tough all the time at PSA that it's basically pristine 10 or PSA 9, I'm CGC and Beckett all day long for me now. I don't care. I buy those cards. I buy PSA, I buy CGC, I buy Beckett. All right, so Yugi going in the Espeon break. No brand loyalty. It's all about getting the most value out of your grading and the most value when you buy the card or the coin. Okay, this ticks up to 12. Here we are. Good. Yeah, I believe we got some CGC cards even very recently. Let's see. Well, I've been buying a ton recently. I don't know where I put it all. Let's see. I know I got a nice CGC 10 Dratini somewhere, but I don't know where it went. I don't know where I put it. Did you guys remember that? It was Rainbow CGC 10 Pristine Dratini. It was a really good looking card. And I noticed it was underpriced because people forget to check for the CGCs. I also got some of these too. Check this out. I got this Hello Kitty 10. So this was an SSP Hello Kitty. And I felt its price was so low. It was like cheaper than the actual SSP itself. I was like, what the hell? I got some Geodudes. People don't give any love to Geodude. Here's a little Rocket Return Zubat. Oh, here you go. So here is a unupgraded Magmar CGC 9.5. So we'll get this bad boy upgraded for Mr. Look at that. He was trying to sell for 115. The Wizard's Cash, huh? That's interesting. We'll get this upgraded, and then we'll get it priced up for Marco, maybe. Or for you guys, I don't know. Whoever wants to buy it. Send in for Espeon. We can finish it during the daytime. Yes. I'm always looking. I'm always buying. And sometimes your best deal isn't even in the PSA slab. The PSA slab is overpriced because everyone just assumes it's better. Zachary says, Espeon break. Whoa! Espeon's almost out of here. There it is. Very nice. It's the same number as the one I have, but it's SSP. Was that Hello Kitty in the October submission? No, 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 no. It was not. It is. It is. This one was purchased right off of eBay. Ta-da! Oh, it doesn't have that thing on the back. This one was purchased right off of eBay. I'll show you. It's interesting that they all carry the same number. Maybe that's why they did an upcharge. Maybe they thought that yours was the expend. I bet they thought yours was an SSP. That's what it was. They thought yours was an SSP. All right, let's see. All right. Hello Kitty. Here it is. Look at that, Tammy. $230 for that. That was delivered today or yesterday or something. Why would that be so cheap? I would bet that this card is worth more around $600 in alignment with the case cost. I don't get it. To me, that's really cheap. Wonder if they even bothered testing it for like a black label at all. Yo, Marco, looks like my box will be here on Monday. The Great Depression gonna sneak on your booty cheeks. Can you complain to say it's not? Like, it's way different in price. You're right, Tammy. Tammy, remember, I was confused when that happened. We went through your cards, we found them all, and there was an upcharge on your cards, and we were looking at it. They definitely looked up Hello Kitty 044, and it's the same number as the regular double R. Wow. I tell you, wow, that PSA submission was so shit, dude. They gave us horrible grades. They upcharged us on everything. And they even upcharged us on a Hello Kitty card that wasn't the SSP. This does deserve an upcharge. This is an upcharge kind of card. But your card wasn't the SSP. They upcharged it anyways. Your card would be less than $100. That's bullshit, dude. Man, that's so stupid. Ah, that makes me angry. I tell you what, Tammy, don't worry about that price, okay? Here's the worst part. I could go fight them on it, but it's only $15, and I'm just going to be too lazy to fight them on it. But it's so wrong that they did it to us. God, they suck, dude. They suck so much. I was angry that they did so many upcharges. And now it all makes sense. They thought you had the SSP. All right, so here's Caleb Ibarra. One spot in the Mewtwo, one spot in the Espeon. Caleb Ibarra. They were looking up your cards and they found the SSP and said, aha, charger for that. That's so shit, dude. All right, let's grab these. God. All right. Justice for Tammy. You were going to pay that. I was going to tell you to pay that, and then you were going to pay it. It didn't really make a lot of sense to me either. I was like, that's just an SP. That's just an RR. God, that makes me so mad, dude. Terrible grades and upcharging us incorrectly. All right. Complain about my card getting an 8. Almost half the submission was just 8s. They're like, that's an 8, that's an 8, that's an 8, that's an 8. Damn, dude. All right, this is Mewtwo. They give everything an 8 because they want us to pay more money. Sounds like something's vibrating. Here we are. Well, something just flew overhead. All right, so here is the Mewtwo. The Espeon, I mean. Let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're actually up to 14. Okay, so that's 14. I made an order for Prismatic. Nice. And here is the Rocket Mewtwo. That makes me so mad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8. All right. So we're at 8 on the Rocket Mewtwo. I saw they upcharged this guy crazy amount for his Greninja, kind of ridiculous. That just makes me mad, dude. All right. Now we got Yugi for a spot in the Espeon. Yugi. Okay, one spot is left. Be careful, guys, when you jump in there. You do only have a 1 in 16 odds. I always like to scare people as they're going in. Let you know what you're getting yourself into, so you don't have too much buyer's regret afterward. So, this is definitely ending in the daytime stream. Yo, LMAO, I just realized the thumbnail. Yeah, hold on, let me see. It should be a JD Vance meme. Mike Side and I had talked about making that a while ago. We finally found a chance to do it. Don't send in for Espeon. It's sold out, says Marco. It's sold out. Let's see, live. Yeah, take another look at the thumbnail. The thumbnail this time is really funny. All right, Mr.'s pissed. It's my money and I want it now. All right, so now we have Todd Peters with 2 prismatic. You got it, Todd Peters. Very nice. Do you like the ash hat on him? All right. I had a Savage pick up a slabs at GameStop, crack it at the counter, and hand it back to submit again. Oh, I see what you're saying. He cracked it right there on the counter and then just sent it right back out. That's funny as hell. Well, I think you got to be careful with regrading with PSA, because as I recall, they do high definition imaging for all the cards. And I think what they do is when your cards come in, they image it again to see if it matches. Ooh. All right. Very nice. You got a Reggie Gigas, Mr. Todd. Grabbing this. Wait, mister, you have new Hololive card game. Yes, Hololive. The new Hololive is in. You didn't look at the thumbnail? Hololive, Elite Spark, fresh case, no one has touched it. Signature just waiting to be pulled. Trembling, knees trembling. All right, here we are. Many of them looking at you going, Oni-san! All right. I was asking about the fossil packs you're selling for $6.50. Can the pack be sent sealed if I want? If it's light, yes. If it's a heavy pack, the rule is you must open a heavy pack. So the way the box break will go, once it's all sold out, we begin the break. They're all weighed. Anyone on this list who has a heavy pack must open the heavy pack. You get no other option. If you get a light pack, you can either have it shipped or you can have it opened. Now, if you get a heavy pack and you don't want it because you want a sealed pack, maybe you can trade me for a light pack because I'll probably have one, and we can split the difference on the cost. Who knows? So you might be able to sell your heavy pack for a light pack right away, but you cannot ship a heavy pack. They all have to open. All right, next we got Marco. Why not? Espeon. All right, Espeon it is. Good luck in there, everybody. PSA will only put your card back to the original grade if they see you cracking it in videos and bragging about the new higher grade. They will delete the higher grade from the system. Oh, will they actually do that? That's nuts, dude. Well, I mean, I think that's petty of PSA. That's wrong, dude. That is very petty. If it turns out that they have inconsistent grades and that they unfairly handed out a lower grade on the first round, and then the second round is the correct higher grade, and then they're mad that you're telling everyone how shit their grading standard can be sometimes, and then they punish you for that by lowering it again, man, that just doesn't seem right. That's petty. It's mean. It steals value back from the card owner. They own the card. Yeah, I don't like that at all. That's not right. That's not right for the customer at all. All PSA should do is apologize. That's the only thing they should do, and say, we're sorry about that. We're glad you got a better grade, and we'll try our best to have a consistent grade. That's all they should do, and then they should shut up. They're going to lower the grade because you're bragging that their system's broken. We go inconsistent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's very petty. That's not right. It makes the new graded cards look fake when people look up the cert. I got the psychic energy. Marco, you can't. Bros, blessings already been sent. They did it to some people. It's ridiculous. That is just wrong, dude. Like, I get it. People can be really insufferable. They can be very egotistical. They can be very arrogant. They can be snobby. They can be just a brat. But at the end of the day, the root of the problem is inconsistent grades from PSA. That's their fault. And they're the business. They have the responsibility to fix the problem. The customer is a consumer. They're there to give you money. You get rich because of the consumer. The consumers, you know, you gotta pat them on the butt a little bit and be like, yeah, we get it. We know. That's not right, man. They have inconsistent grading, and they punish the consumer for bragging about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think I heard about that, though. I think I know what you're talking about. I think I saw that. Already read that. All right, let's see. 1. That's why people get all excited for tag grading to do well, because they get tired of PSA, man. People do not want PSA to have a monopoly. They want a really good, strong competition in the card market. Because if you get one company gets a monopoly, they can abuse you so much as a consumer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So the Master Ball break is going off. Let's show the names. All right, we do this in case a mistake is made and somebody's not in here who should be in here. We actually just had that help us out with Colton Pinder. Colton Pinder said he should have been put in a break and he got missed, and so now he is taken care of. All right. Good. I don't know about that, James. That sounds like an easy lawsuit. Probably not. I mean, you can claim damages, but PSA probably has it baked into their... You know, like when you agree to grade stuff with PSA, they probably say something like they have a right to protect their brand, or they can say something like we have the right to change your grade if you act like a jerk. Who knows? So I'm sure you probably could not sue them, and there probably wouldn't be much money to sue over anyways. It's just that the real cost of PSA is the brand damage of looking so petty. They're trying to bully you into hiding their mistakes. And grading companies do this all the time. It's like tag grading when the one guy cracked his slab really fast, like without even trying. And tag's like, shut up, shut up, shut up. We don't want to hear about it. Tag should have said, we're going to look into this. We apologize, and it's important to us. And then just bop out, you know, like they're a machine. They're a corporation. They're a business. They don't need to say much more than that. This is important to us. We'll look into it, and we'll refund you, da-da-da-da-da. They just be nice to you. But no, they took it like personally. They got like pissed off over it, and they want to abuse the guy who got the faulty product. All right, give me a number. Give me a number. Tag is given 10 to damaged cards. I heard about that. I heard about that. See, that's just like the whole CGC playtest card thing. Tag handed out faulty 10s. You know, so there's some scandal in the grading card companies like every other month. All right, here goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was Mr. Brandon. 6 spots. There's some scandal every other month, man. I swear to God. And it's just the nature, I think, of grading cards, because what they're really doing is they're like handing out... when they hand out a grade, it's like they're handing out money. It's very close to like handing out money. When you tell someone their card's like a perfect 10 black label, it is so much like just handing money out to that person. You've just handed out so much value. They paid $20 to grade a card, and now it's worth $500. You know what I'm saying? So these companies have to be really strict with how they authorize, you know, those grades. They have to be seen as reliable, consistent, fair. They have to be seen as strict and, you know, conscientious. Is that the right word? All right, good. Let's see. They have to be able to seem impartial and authoritative. And I think petty is not supposed to be on that list. Petty is not supposed to be on the list of things they should look like. Give me a number. Tag says the handout AI true grading. Yeah, it's all advertising. It's all advertising. It's all about telling the consumer this is the best thing since sliced bread. James says 2. We got 1, 2. Well, I always complain about that, don't I? I always complain about the whole AI grading thing. It's like, come on, dude. At the end of the day, it's humans. It's tool-assisted grading. Here's Blake. Wow, right off the bat, dude. Blake probably loves these breaks. I've seen him pull a couple of these. Blake Santoro, is he here? He was here earlier, was he not? Right off the bat. All right, that's it. Here's JM. Sorry, Mr. JM. And Beatrice. There's a star card in here somewhere. Jack Rapini. So each person pulls a card. Marco Arboleta. Yo, okay. So, Marco, you're going to take the spot over here. It's like you haven't lost the star card yet. We are. Here's Yugi Tao. It rigged! Caleb. Garrett Nadal. I know he's going to be happy about that. Garrett. Jack. Actually, you know, the break's not over until everything lines up. So, technically, it's not over. Here's Zach, so don't celebrate too early. It's not over until all the packs are opened and they all line up. The list and the packs have to line up, or it's not a legitimate run unless they all add up. Here's Andrew. The reason that could happen is if, like, I have too many booster packs, and if I had too many booster packs, then it's not a legitimate run. So never get too excited until it's over. And now you can celebrate. All right, very good. Very good, Mr. Blake. Yeah, I made that mistake one time. It was pretty sad. I felt bad about it. So we don't sort these into your bags right now. It would take too much time. And now we're going to reload these. Let's reload them. How's the time to like? Now's the time to like. I read that wrong. Now it's rigged. Blake said he would buy me a Bulbasaur if I rigged it for him. Is that right? They are. So what did he pull? He pulled the Dark Espeon. Fantastic pull, man. Fantastic card. We also get to pick out a new Master Ball. I'm very interested in picking out a Master Ball that you guys are interested in. What do you guys have a hankering for? Modern, vintage? What do you guys like? Alt arts? Cheap ones? Expensive ones? TCC grading does a 161 point inspection. More certified than a used vehicle. That's right. TCC grading is the best grading. Not my hometown, but we only grade 10 cards per year, so that's the problem now. We got to update that computer. I'd tell my wife to get down there and go update it. All right. So that's Marco moving right over into this. That's what happens next. All right. That's called the clearance break. The clearance break is a break that is cheaper than it normally would be. It's going to say 7 now. 7 out of 14 is halfway there. Okay. Hey, what's up, Joji Cards? He says, I don't get this. Joji Cards, these are my custom booster pack breaks. They involve opening up custom boosters, and some of the custom boosters will have a chase card like this that is then traded for the slab it's associated with. We are. So basically, we found a way to chop up a nice card and put it into custom boosters. We are. All right. So this goes to Blake Santoro. He's going to be a very happy boy today. All right. Okay, nice. And we'll toss this over here. Thank you, Blake. Okay. We'll toss this away. If Brandon B got the Espeon, I was going to ask to be in clearance anyways. Read the last comment. You ever willing to break a Karen's Umbreon? The problem with the Karen's Umbreon, I sold too many of them. They're so expensive now. I should have just kept all of them. But, you know, people kept asking me for them. And obviously that's the sign. It's a card to hold, not to sell. But, you know, I wanted to sell some to you guys, and I did. And now I have less than I should. And they all went up, way up in price. They were an obvious good hold. The whole time they were a good hold. Yeah, it was not smart for me to sell those. So, thanks for sorting that all out. Could you use my credit to go into the Espeon break? Mr. Colton, you're lucky you didn't go in there because you would have missed. So now you can choose a different break. Brandon Petilier also wanted a Lespeon break. So, if you guys wait, I can get the next break running. Petilier. So your custom packs are already open. Yeah, basically, they've got the top peeled off. That's the same for all my custom packs. You can see we've got the live customs work like that. That's because the cards just get popped up out of them. Here's vintage cards. So like this is a custom pack. Check it out. So that's a custom vintage pack with 2 9-tails in it. These custom vintage packs over here are associated with slabs rather than with raw cards. You can't really fit the slab into the pack. If I could, I would. So we use a placeholder card instead. Okay, that's Brandon. Here's Omar Faba, 1 Prismatic Eve. Okay, so before we go any further than that, let's pick a new card. Let's see. Let's see. Look at these, man. Look at these cards. Wow. You guys were asking about these the other day. The Beast of the Sea has got to be one of the best ones. Man, those are some good-looking cards, man. Oh, what just happened? My chat just crashed. My app just crashed. Hold on, let me bring that back up. Like, broke. All right, we'll pause that. There we go. Brandon wants to be in the Mewtwo. Okay, so Brandon's just going to go into the Mewtwo. Have you ever done a Smash or Pass Pokemon video? I've not done a Smash or Pass Pokemon video, but I can already tell you, S-tier Weeping Bell. Brandon Boutillier. That's why Weeping Bell always has the 1,000-yard stare. 1,000-yard stare. Brandon Booty Liar. Funny dude. All right. Okay. So there's Mewtwo. Now, again, we're looking for a new item to do for the break. What used to be the case, we used to have a whole bunch of boxes over here that had nice slabs in them, and then I had to move all those because we were at risk of being in a fire. All right, you guys choose which ones for the next Master Ball break. We can have Karen's Umbreon, Shining Gyarados, or Skyridge Gengar. Ooh, this would be an interesting one, wouldn't it? That one would be really expensive, though. The Greninja is kind of an interesting one. Oh, my FKKK, I'm going to put myself in debt. Dude, this card just sold recently for $14,000. And my original acquisition price on this card in 2019 was $1,300. One of my best performing holds. Pretty amazing. I'm really happy with it. Isn't Skyridge more of a rare candy? I think it's more like a mega break. How about this card, man? Says I got it for $1,900. I think it's at $3,000 now. Nice swirl over there on this one. Great looking cards. But this Greninja is also a great looking card. Let's take a quick look into that. Put the Gary away. What are difference between breaks? Well, we give them different names just because, you know, it makes it easier to talk about them. You know, like the Rocket Break, you know, it's going to be the Mewtwo. But the difference between them typically is just your odds. So like the Master Ball break tends to be in this sort of sweet spot of price. Oops, hold on. So I want to know what this card costs me. I don't understand why this card's so expensive. I really don't. All right. So let me just see what he costs with taxes real fast. So I've got his price with taxes. Now I do a profit margin in there. Then I divide that by 40. Greninja is basically a rare candy break. So it says here I should want to do about 25 spots. I'd say we just do it, man. Let's just do it. Who cares? Let's just do it. Let's go for it. So we'll have the rare candy and the Master Ball break be roughly the same price. All 4 are too expensive. So what you're saying is it should be a triple break for all 3 at the same time? Let's do a triple break for all 3 at the same time. So this is the new Master Ball break. It is Grey Ninja. The last Master Ball break was a lot more affordable than this one. I tell you what, let's make it a 1 in 27, and we'll put some raw cards in this break too, since we were talking about that. Remember that? All right, so it's a $40 break, 1 in 27, with $40 worth of raw cards. So this stands for raw cards, the triangle does, and the star stands for the star break. All right, these little symbols tell me what the actual setup is. So it could have been 1 in 25 if I just remove those 2 things. It's 1 in 25, but it's 1 in 27 because these are in. There it is, the Master Ball break, Grey Ninja. Mister, you mentioned a Dratini you have. I got a Dratini Rainbow from CGC. I thought I showed that to you. I don't know where it went though. Oh my god, isn't this music nice? What are the raw cards? What I'll try to do is I'll try to pick out like the highest value raw singles that are also popular or good looking. You know, we need to start getting good at that, I think. Putting some raw cards in those breaks, because I feel like the breaks are so dry without them. And then you have a little Master Ball. Grey Ninja is up on the table. These are coming back down. Nobody wanted them. Everyone said they don't like those cards. I get it. They're not exactly the best looking cards, so we take those back down. I'll send 40 right now for the triple mega break. Let's see what that would look like. Okay, let's say we were just liquidating and not replacing those. So it'd be 14,000 plus... Didn't the Gengar go for 14,000? So 14,000 plus 14,000 plus 3,300. So 31,000 divided by 40. So your odds would be 1 in 782. Wow. 1 in 782. I mean, that would get people talking for sure, a break like that. But, you know, a break like that starts to look like the freaking, you know, jackpot, you know, Super Bowl, whatever they call that, Powerball. I don't think we could do something like that. It's so it's too decadent or something. There's just something about it that's gross. I couldn't do that, I'm afraid. Let's put this over here. No, one day I'll probably sell those in auction or something. Or maybe I'll offer it as a trade for somebody who has something like booster boxes. All right. Who is next? Brandon Boutillier is done. Omar, 1 Prismatic Evolutions. You got it. There we have it. Mr. Omar. So these two are exactly the same. The Rare Candy and the Master Ball are the same giant break. And I think the Greninja is just really cool is all. Ooh, I got excited when I saw that sparkly edge, but that is just a regular Terrapagos. Still doing orders? How long have we been live? An hour and 20? If you hurry, we'll take another order, Mr. Hathim. Send that order in. Hathim, that's the Greninja. You might get it all back for 40. You never know. That's the Greninja. Of course, your odds are not good, though, so maybe don't. How the breaks work when people pay. So when you pay for the break, what happens is your purchase is put into a list, sort of like a list. The list looks like this. So this is the list of names, and it's represented by these energy cards, which we are able to shuffle. Shuffling the energy cards creates RNG. So that's how the break is, just like a booster box of Pokemon cards is randomized. This is how we randomize things. There's actually a double randomization. We shuffle both the packs themselves and the names in the order that they'll be opened. All right, where's my, here it is. Thank you, thank you. So now we've got Riley, Waifu Shuffle. And how old is my bag? It's so old, Riley. Too old. Ready? So this is for Riley. You ready? You got one waifu, Mr. Riley. Let's go find that bag, shall we? Okay, let's see. Riley, your bag says 924 on it. And here's your additional waifu card. Konnichiwa. Just sent. Nice. Okay. Mr. Omar, 9 prismatic evolutions. All right, you got it, Mr. Omar. If you'll give me a moment, I shall go get some more of these. Now, we actually don't have ETBs anymore, okay? So 9 packs will just get you 9 booster packs. What music is this, says Patrick? Hey! You best not be talking that way. I don't take kindly to your type, Mr. Patrick. You Minecraft music hating type. All right, some new Hololive. Now let me go get that prismatic. Once upon a time, somebody made fun of the Minecraft music, and then they went to hell. Whew. All right. So here we are. I think you'll need to open 2 of these, actually. Can we talk about how upcharges on card grading is a scam? We throw the word scam around a lot. It's not a scam, but it's like, it's not a nice thing. All right, let's see. Scams may be too strong of a word, but it's sort of like a bad business. It's unsatisfying for the customer. Who's exploding on prismatic? Oh, Mr. Omar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're at 7 here. Hey, he's going to pull Crown Brown for us and get us our first Crown Brown clip. I don't want to hear it. I hope the February submission comes back before the December sub. It's the December sub done. 3, 6, 7, 8, and a 9. All right. Lovely. Good luck. Beep. Now this just good TV. Read my comment. So 13 packs. Oh, you're Omar Fable, aren't you? All right, give me a moment here. All right. They tell you up front, what is a scam is asking you to upcharge yourself before knowing the end grade. Yeah, exactly. So it's sort of like, how much insurance would you like for your card, buddy? You know, and it's like, oh my God, I don't know. If you guys break my card in the process and I didn't buy enough insurance, are you going to screw me? But then also, if the card grades well and doesn't get destroyed by you, are you going to upcharge me as well? Like, you know, it's just, come on, man. It's a dumb system that punishes it punishes you for not paying more a little bit. And again, I would call it a bad business practice. Certainly doesn't leave the consumer going, oh yeah. So, Mr. Omar, we have to make sure nobody has opened. Yes. Yes, you're all good. We can add this to this current order. Yeah, we had to make sure nobody opened in between you. It is. All right. How does the winner get picked out of the random packs? So everyone gets a card out of their pack, but basically they're all shuffled up. The packs are shuffled, the names are shuffled, and then we just open it one at a time. And eventually the chase card comes out. Now that chase card is traded for the associated slab, and bada bing. Just like that. All right, here we are. So those are my custom booster pack slab breaks. And they're just one of many different custom booster pack types on the channel. We find that being able to offer custom booster packs allows people to do things like, instead of opening booster packs that contain a chance for a raw Greninja, you can open up booster packs that give you a chance for a PSA 10 Greninja. And so we've done a lot of math, and we found out that this is a better valuation, dollar per dollar. You get a better chance at a PSA 10 Greninja opening these than you do opening up booster boxes. I was just showing the math behind that earlier in the stream with Silver Tempest, this guy over here. Are you ready? It's because pretty much Pokemon doesn't have to show odds on their booster boxes. And I feel like that really, they really get away with a lot not having to reveal that. Here we are. You randomly insert the winning card. Yeah, so the winning card is in one of the booster packs. So it's like the chase card, and it's in one of the booster packs. Just like a booster box of Pokemon cards, one of the booster packs will actually have Lugia in it, but all the other ones don't. Here's Umbreon and another Umbreon. I like these Umbreon Holos. I would check these for potential 10s. Here we are. All right. I got my Mew. Okay, here's Larry. It's Larry. Here's Dusknoir. Ooh. Diplin. It's Master Ball Diplin. Ooh. Very nice. Festival Grounds. Iron Thorns. Haha. All right. Very good. Haha. All right. Master Ball Diplin. That's the best card. I want a caramel Diplin. Yeah, and then you can eat it with the Vanillite. Okay, here's Vaporeon, Flareon. Espeon. Here is Glaceon. Ooh. Oh. Here's, oh man, if this could have just been a Master Ball right here, you'd have done well. All right, there's Sliveon. Stream at 12:30 Central Time, please. Earlier in the night. Here we are. I can't do that, Brandon. I have to start the stream at 2 a.m. after getting into a big political argument. Here's Umbreon. Oh, and that's why. It's Terrapagos. That would have been really good as if it was a Pikachu, man. The golden Pikachu in this set is so decent looking. I love the, what do they call that, where it's got this lifted texturing. There's a word for that. Embossing. Love that gold embossing. It's so pretty. But Terrapagos himself, oh my God, this is such a tease. Terrapagos himself is just not desirable enough as a Pokemon. Trump can do no wrong, says Smoked Out Turtle. Trump! Oh my God, dude. All right, Mr. Omar, let's grab it. Trump could be Napoleon. I'm warning Republicans right now. He could be Napoleon. He could be the guy trying to fight everyone at the same time because he's arrogant. Here we are. He's got to be smart. He could be Napoleon. The rest of the world only has to outlast him for 4 years. That's all they have to do. So if he's too abrasive, it's not going to work. Here we are. All right, that would be my warning to Republicans, is he could be Napoleon trying to fight too many fights at the same time. Overconfident. Here's a Thim, 6 of the new Hololives. You got it, Mr. Thim. All right. Ta-da! So these are from a fresh case, and you are actually opening the very first 6 packs. I haven't been able to tune in to the last few streams, but I just wanted to remind you that there was a bag created for me, but I have a bag here with the Halo cards. Nice. So it sounds like you have 2 bags. You mean Napoleon Dynamite? Do chickens have large talons? Alex Silva. And here's an Alex Silver. Is that you, actually? I might have written your name down as Alex Silver. Yes, so here's an Alex Silver, and I'm willing to bet that this is actually you, and I must have been, like, talking or something when I wrote that name down. I don't think I've ever heard of an Alex Silva in our stream. I can throw this steak over that mountain. All right, so you're Alex Silver for a little while. We'll get you a fresh bag with the correct name. Look at this Hathim. Ooh. Ooh. You don't like Trump? Trump! No, I actually like him. I like him a lot better than Kamala Harris. But, you know, I'm a fair-minded person. I think Trump has to be careful. You know, there is such a thing as going too far. You got to be careful not to go too far. And same for the Democrats. They have to be careful not to go too far. They have to use common sense. Here we are. All right, let's see what we got. But I think in particular, his desire to be in a trade war with everyone, it's a really interesting showdown, because the belief is that America will come out on top of this trade war. Hopefully. I mean, if you're in America, you hope for that to be the case. But, you know, the rest of the world is full of real people. They do not want America to just be like, you know, taking advantage of everyone. And so when it comes to trade, it's most important that everything is fair. What is this outfit? What? It looks like panties. That's not right. All right, here we are. Now, I thought Kamala Harris was going to be a disaster, to be honest with you. I thought she was going to be really bad. So I was not rooting for her, I can tell you that. And here we are. I like some of the stuff he's been doing. Like, for example, they just caught one of the leaders of MS-13, which was right next to Washington, D.C. So you know that guy's only there because he's cooperating with politicians. How insane is that? He's definitely in contact with politicians, and they talk. It's got to be that, or he talks with a proxy or something like that. And so they just caught one of the heads of MS-13 in Virginia, and I love that. You know, as an American, that's great to me. It's like, we don't want gangs. We don't want that kind of stuff. They have problems like that in Mexico. We don't want problems like that in our country. You know, we attack the Houthis who are trying to control a key shipping route. I actually don't have a problem with that either. The Houthis shouldn't do that. They shouldn't attack our ships. They shouldn't attack shipping, cargo, innocent people who are just doing their job. That's crazy. So, you know, just can't have that. Plus, you know, if you don't punish them for it, they're just going to keep doing it, and more groups are going to pop up saying, hey, that's working for you. We'll join you and do it too. So it's kind of like fighting pirates. Good old pirates. So there's things that I think were pretty good. Did you guys hear? We're actually closer to getting those stimmy checks. Yeah, the Doge checks. It's still going to be a real thing. Apparently, I heard that for dual filing couples, it's going to be $7,500. And for individuals, it can be $5,000. So that's a real thing. The Doge checks, stimmy checks coming, maybe, guys. They attacked Tom Hanks. It looks like an outfit you'd look good in. Hey! Hey, mister, stop hating on Lamara. Here we are. Lovely. Are you asking the price of these? These are $6.50 a pack right now. Here it is. So that is the new Hololive set. Let me get a price tag on it for you because we tend to do that on the new sets. $6.50 a pack. All right. Did you hear that Trump said he said that America would join the British Commonwealth the other day? I assume he was joking, but we mentioned that in the stream. But, I don't know if you heard him say that. I thought that was really, really funny. He's got to be joking. I sent for the rest of the box. Sounds good. All right. The other day, he also called himself the fertilization president because I think they're working on the IVF stuff, which actually Karis and I are interested in. We might try to have a IVF baby. We're we like technology and stuff like that. That almost sounds very interesting to us. We are, because we're ready to have a kid now. And how convenient would it be if you could just go in and, pick like the healthiest kid, right? Like apparently IVF allows you to pick between the genes so that you avoid the ones that are closely associated with like disease or cancer or something like that. Like that's really interesting. Yeah, he will be joking. America loses the Revolutionary War many years later. All right. So now we have Omar. We already did that one. We have Javier, To Azure Lane, Volume 2. Ooh. 2 Pokey Shuffles. 3 Korean Terra Festivals. 3 Korean Terra Festivals. Let's see. Terra Festival. Did you see Kanye's tweet about Jay-Z's IVF kid so unhinged? Does he say anything that isn't unhinged? I haven't seen that, but I'm sure he said something absolutely crazy. Here we are. 2 Pokey Shuffles. Are you ready for the Pokey Shuffles? Here they are. All right. Very nice. Most are going to have a test tube Mewtwo baby. 1, 2, 3. All right. Phoebos, Mr. Shooting Blanks. Hey. All right, you got 2 Pokemon cards. Here's these packs getting open. Are you ready? What is this music? They added very Asian-sounding music to Minecraft, which I don't have a problem with Asian-sounding music, but it doesn't sound like Minecraft. C418 sounds like Minecraft. There we go. It sounds like a gateway to retail babies. I was reading an article that there's demand for sperm from the United States to the rest of the world. Pika! All right, Javier with the golden Pikachu. Very nice. Wow, this is what I was talking about earlier. I wish we'd pulled this out of the English one. But this is going to be the Korean packs. They are the cheapest packs on the menu when you want to open up the EV set from Scarlet Violet. That's a great card, man. Did you see how Elon wants to cancel PBS? Poor Elmo. So it's an interesting subject. PBS. Here it is. Here are my thoughts on that one. I don't know about PBS itself. I watched a lot of PBS as a kid. I think that, publicly funded TV shows like Arthur and Sesame Street and all that is a wonderful thing. We watched that as children. But back in the 90s and the 2000s, I want to say it wasn't so politicized. You could watch Sesame Street if you're a conservative or a liberal, and you basically got the same pretty, wholesome messages. Over the years, I feel like these sort of networks have been taken over by content creators who push one-sided narratives, and it really doesn't appeal to the other side. The other side is still Christian, still Jewish, still Muslim, they're conservative, they're Orthodox, whatever. And they don't want their kids having these new ideas pushed on them because they don't believe in those ideas at all. So then they start to ask, well, why should I have to fund the brainwashing of children? Because you're telling them, hey, this idea is really good. Not only do we think that that's not true, we think it's really harmful. Stuff like maybe like transsexuality, for example. If that was in Sesame Street, a lot of conservatives would suddenly jump up and say, what the? My kid's never watching this. I don't want my kid being told that they're not right in the right body. I don't want my kid going through any of that. I don't want them going through puberty blockers. I want them to be able to have children when they're 18. So this is where it's all headed, and that's why he said that, because conservatives do feel that pressure to, why would I pay for something that I strongly disagree with, right? It's like if you had to pay for the Democrat campaign funding. So here's my thoughts. NPR, PBS, I think they're a really good thing. I think they should practice being neutral. For example, I think I heard that the board of, I think almost every employee on the board of directors or something like that for NPR was a what do they call that? Not a liberal voter, a registered Democrat. I think they should make sure that their company has 50% Republicans and 50% Democrats, so that they can sort of battle out what the message is for children and for NPR, and you get two sides of a story, and you get some balance in the perspectives, and then no one's going to mind having, a federally funded NPR and PBS at that point. Nobody's going to mind it. But if it's really just one-sided, they're going to lose funding. It's going to happen. It'll happen eventually, it'll happen eventually, because conservatives are going to say, you can't make me pay for something that I hate. You can't make me pay taxes to push the other team's agenda. It's so against my interest, and the country is so poor right now, you can't make me pay for that. So that's my thoughts on it. I really think they should consider making sure that they stay neutral and making sure that they hire people from both teams so that they continue to receive funding. All right. Mistress Kid is banned from the will if it comes out trans. No Pokemons for you. I'll have strict rules about having children. You must have 12 children by the age of 18. Here's a them 6 more Hololive. Excuse me. All right. And they should use Signal, the most secure app. Man, I read those texts, man. I read the texts. I guess the good news for the Trump administration is they didn't say anything too crazy in the texts, but it's still pretty bad. Hey, wait, there's only 5. Oh, right, because one of them's over here. Let's open this. Let's open this one. All right, let's see what that was. Javier says the Poke Shuffles. Oop, did I not get yours? Let me take a look. Hold on. Javier, 2 Poke Shuffles. Excuse me, I did open those. You might have missed it. You got 2 cold ones, okay? I did open those. 2 Poke Shuffles. Them 6 Holo Shuffle, or 6 Hololives. Hi, 6. Here we are, snipping this. All right. Yeah, the good news about what happened with that PR catastrophe and national security catastrophe, what happened with that is luckily they did not say anything more than they did. Because if you think about it, if it really was an accident, which I almost consider whether it really is or not, but if it really was an unintentional leak, then luckily they didn't say anything more important than what they said. Ooh, they said stuff we already knew was going to happen. They're attacking the Houthis. They talked disparagingly of the European military, so they didn't like that. And they talked about having to put out a message, a narrative about their actions against the Houthis. We are. Ooh. Reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. You did that, mister. Both cold. Save Tickle Me Elmo. Here's a holo. I'm not paying attention to them. I'm making rosin. Ooh, I hear a boat going by. That's so cool. I go boating, man. Ooh. All right. But yeah, that was a pretty big blunder. I don't know what the consequence of that will be. Maybe nothing. Here we are. And again, they're pretty lucky they didn't say more than they did. It could have been really bad if they said enough. Ooh. Yo, FedEx me some of that. Javier. I thought the journalist had more text. He hasn't released, and they have. All right, there we are. Oh, so you think there's more, maybe. My question is, what are the chances that he was added there intentionally, too? You know, like maybe there's... How do you add a journalist to the list? You add a journalist to your private chat? Like, come on, dude. Oh, no, the leak. But that's a conspiracy, but I don't know. Yeah. It sounded like maybe it wasn't intentional, but maybe somebody in that group knew what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? Somebody in the group might have known what they were doing. That's a nice looking... so I like the texturing in this card. It's like a really professional looking texturing. I'm liking that a lot. So that the texturing almost had like a curve to it. Normally texturing is very angular, but this almost has like a curve to it. It's really new. It's really new looking. Very cool. Also, vibrant colors. Very nice. So, let's find your bag. Here it is. Where you keep your price chart on the packs. So, I think you're talking about the menu. So, the menu is just in the description of the live stream, or the YouTube live stream. We also have a menu. It's called the extended menu. The link to the extended menu is also in the description. So, it's all in the description, basically. So, there it is. What we're doing here is called a rip and ship. Here's a fun fact, Mr. Joe G. I was the first guy to do rip and ships on YouTube 6 years ago. So we actually started this a full 6 years ago. And we continue to go to this day. We got members in this group that have been here for 6 years. And after we got started, really, I was doing exceptionally well. I would say nowadays there's a lot more competition. It's harder. The margins are slimmer. It's more competitive. And you got like whole apps like Whatnot app. Whatnot app basically does what we do here. But it's so crazy. I was already doing it before the Whatnot app was invented. So I had a new idea, basically like DoorDash for Pokemon cards. I had a new idea and I was implementing it before even major apps had come out. And yeah, it's been going strong for 6 years, and we'll see if we get it done for another 6 years. There's always that chance that maybe YouTube comes out and says you can't do it anymore. So that's probably one of my biggest risks for this business. We rely on YouTube letting us sell cards. One day, YouTube could say, you can't do it this way anymore. You have to actually open a YouTube shop, and then we take 13% of your sales. So whenever YouTube probably inevitably does that, I'm going to lose a ton of money. Because, you know, Whatnot sellers, they pay a big fee to do exactly what I'm doing. They pay a big Whatnot fee. And, you know, there's platforms where you can sell cards and pay no fees, but Whatnot's very popular, but also very controversial from what I've heard. I've heard it's very poor quality because there's so many amateurs and then so many untrustworthy people. But we've been going for 6 years, and people like it here because they know I'm very trustworthy. That's the whole point of what I do. I'm very obsessed with being trustworthy. All right, so I think I'm doing things wrong. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. That's what a lot of people that came to my stream, they made the same conclusion. There's people who run similar streams just like this, and it's almost tit for tat, almost the exact same replication. And yes, it's a fascinating thing, isn't it? That would be 100% gay place. Hey! All right, Yugi Tao. One Mewtwo spot. You got it. Here we are. Oops. All right, very nice. Mr. Yugi. Isn't there another one called, like, Drip or something like that? So there's Whatnot, and then there's Drip, and then there's the TikTok shop, right? So TikTok does it, too. And so then there's Twitch, and then there's YouTube. Now, YouTube doesn't quite do it like TikTok, right? And then I don't know about Twitch. Yeah, I don't know anything about Twitch. I don't think Twitch has implemented like a forced shop. But TikTok enforces its shop, I'm pretty sure. You have to use it. If you do one of these, you have to use TikTok shop. And then TikTok shop, I think they take 8%. I'm not sure. Here it is, Yugi Tao. But so that's really frustrating. But we've been going for 6 years, and yeah, it's been a wild ride. I've absolutely loved it. I got a fantastic collection over the years. All the money I make pretty much just pays my mortgage. Just two things, really. My mortgage, my food, which is my cost of living, and then just tons of Pokemon cards. I've just wildly purchased Pokemon cards, whether they were going up or whether they were going down. I didn't care. I had a strong feeling that the Pokemon cards were going to net go up over the years. So I was just constantly buying. I bought this one back in January. Look at this. We got this nice Gold Star Gyarados. So I make some money selling cards, and then I just buy more cards. So I don't have a lot of cash. You know, there's guys who are really into crypto. I respect crypto a lot. But for me, Pokemon is my crypto. I'm just buying as much Pokemon as I can and hoping my house doesn't catch on fire. All right, let's get you in that Mewtwo. Let's see. If I lose it all, I will probably cry. But then I would just accept that that's how life is. You know, life is like that. This is like a game I'm playing. And so if I lost everything one day, I'd just start the game over. Start working where I'm at. Good life, right? Chilling. Yes. I'll try it in the UK, but I'll give you credit. Yeah? Here we are. You might already have competition over there. You never know. So now we've got Darren Thompson. One custom vintage pack. One custom vintage pack. So check this out, Joji. So these are my vintage packs. We got all these. And what I do is I just grab a random amount, cut it in half. Of course, there's not a lot of packs left, so it's hard to do it. 1, 2, 3. So Darren gets this custom vintage pack. He paid $25 for this custom vintage pack. Let's see what he got. We'll see if he likes it. Some of the packs are hot. Some of them are cold. So some of the packs you do really well. Some of them not so well. We got 2 fighter energies. We got a Rhyhorn. A trainer. Another trainer. Here's a Sand Slash. There's a real brown theme going on here. So it's a fighter type Pokemon at the end probably. Oh, Steel Energy. Wow. And Dark Flampy? No, he's a Dark, why can't I remember his name? I already said Donphan. Fampy Donphan. Is it Donphan? It's not Donphan, is it? You know, we've got this Pokemon in the new Scarlet Violet set, but it's like Iron Treads. And so I can't remember the original name. It's Donphan. Yeah, I got it. It's Donphan. So, okay, in this case, you got Donphan. It would actually be considered a cold pack. Donphan's not a good pull in these packs. Charizard or like a God pack would be considered a good pull. But that was $25, and people enjoy opening these for the fun of it. We are. Get these sleeved up a little bit for you. And so that's a custom vintage packs, and we've sold out of almost all those. It's been a popular product. The only problem is eventually I run out of this product, so I don't know how long this will last, but one day it will be out. That goes back there, so you can see how many of these I sold. Now, here's the trick to this product. I bought this product almost 4 years ago. I was buying up tens of thousands of dollars worth of vintage holographic cards. I just had them sit in a box. All these years later, I'm finally liquidating them. So I'm basically I'm liquidating profits now, and it's just a nice little fun thing. But in order for all of that to have worked, I had to buy them at the market price like 4 years ago, and that was a big risk. I think I spent about $40,000 on it all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. So 36. So I've sold 36 packs of this. All right. I think this pack is a spare Charizard. So this pack, if somebody pulls a Charizard, yep, it's a spare Charizard pack. So the way it would work is if someone pulled a Charizard, I would toss another Charizard in there to keep the interest high. There should be a Charizard in the current, these packs right here should have a Charizard in it. And so that's how we do it. 36 times 25, let's see. Because I know that really is something people care a lot about, is being able to pull one. $900 worth of those vintage cards. So I've made almost $1,000 back, and that's how it's working. 40K, would you say you've made that back by now? Definitely not. There's still a long way to go to make all that money back. But lucky for me, I've still got plenty of those holos left. All right. It's just a slow, slow grind. A couple of them got graded, actually. So amongst all those holos were no rarity symbol cards. You've seen those up on the table. So those don't go in the custom vintage packs. They're too valuable. You know, you would have to just put one card into one pack. Nobody's going to open that. But the no rarity cards got put up here and got graded. And you saw some of them were like $100. Like the Haunter was $100 and he was just a 7. So a couple of those get graded. So it's all over the place. But you've got a nice Donphan. Let's go ahead and put this into your bag. Darren with the D. I have to sit down and remake those, and it's going to cost me a couple hours of work to remake them. That's the downside. I wish I had a helper. Let's see. Canadians going to pay more for English Pokemon cards. Oh, Canada. I don't like that the U.S. has its conflict with Canada. It makes me sad. It's crazy that Donald Trump wants them to join. I don't think he's going about it in a way where they're going to actually seriously consider joining. But let's say that you didn't hate Donald Trump and he wasn't a jerk. I think it would be fantastic for the two countries to join. I think it would be very clever because there's a lot of logistics that are made more efficient when you do that. And now you guys can move to, Myrtle Beach, Miami, Florida, Hawaii. All our huge corporations can open up shop in Canada. There's all these jobs that open up, so there's this great efficiency between the two countries joining. It's very efficient, but you guys would hate that because Donald Trump is a jerk and because he's trying to force you to join. That's the problem. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Canada's just going to outwait the United States for 4 years. The United States could invade. Oh, hold on. Darren wanted shipping. Are you ready? I have 2 to 3 bags or 2 to 3 slabs. Can you also flash what's in my bags? Yes, Darren, let me focus a little more on your order and get this taken care of. Here it is, Darren. You think you got a couple bags, Darren? Let's go looking for that. It's not going to happen. Canada's just going to outweight Trump, and it's going to be bad for everyone because Trump thinks he's going to use a trade war to push them into joining. I don't know, man. I don't see it happening. But it's sad because it is an opportunity. I see it not as a bad idea. It's an opportunity The idea itself is clever. It's just not going to happen. It's really sad. Your ruling class would never let it happen. They don't want it. The ruling class doesn't want it because they have power that they would lose if the two groups joined. You know, if you're the winner in that society, you don't want anything to change, and you don't want to have to be in competition with the elites in the other country. So your ruling class will never allow it. Okay, I think we're done. I think it's these two bags right here then. All right. I think it looks like he thinks our allies are for sale. Yeah, we are. Let's see. But, you know, I want what's best for the Canadians, too. I think Canadians are very similar to Americans in many ways. We speak a common language. We enjoy all the same feelings and ideas. We live on the same continent. I mean, it's the same rock. We're on the same rock together. And genetically, we're similar, right? Like America's like 55% white. I'm pretty sure it's pretty much the same type of white the Canadians are. British, French, German, Irish, whatever, right? So we're the same people. And we have so much in common. So again, it's very efficient to join the countries together. There's a lot of money to save. And the opportunities suddenly become better for Canadians when the two countries join, because the United States has so much stuff. You know, we're huge. And so there's so much stuff that you would get. So many opportunities, from universities to being legally allowed to quickly purchase and loan money for a nice new home in an enviable place. All kinds of fun stuff. I mean, your housing shortage would be over instantly, because you could just move to any house in the U.S. that you could relocate to. And there's houses all over out here. You are. You could work very quickly for like major corporations that are all set up in the U.S. with lots and lots and lots of jobs. And the U.S. and Canada as a single country would benefit from being able to harvest resources together. And it would be, you know, a combined wealth. Here it is. All right. But so I think there's a lot of opportunity there, but it's just not going to happen because of his approach and because of his unlikability. So what he could do is invade. That's never going to happen. That would be terrible. I think he would lose support in the United States if he invaded Canada. I don't think Trump will get support for that. He might get support for invading Greenland, though. Greenland's so small. The Republicans might be able to look the other way on something like that, but I don't think he'll do that either. Probably just two bags. We gave the bird to the EU and the taxes they imposed. Canada still has the Queen on their money. Dun, 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 dun. The Queen! All right, let's see. Plus, we'd get so much more maple syrup. Think of the maple syrup. All right. No more tariffs going either way. No tariffs. No border check. One shared military. That's very efficient because it's the same rock. We're all sitting on the same rock. It's very clever that way. You have about the population and the economy of Texas. So, you know, you'd be a smaller group joining a much larger group. And there's a lot of benefits to joining the evil empire. Okay, Mr. Yugi, one of the Mewtwo. Did we already do that? Let me see if we already did that. I feel like we already did that. Could never invade Canada. I think America probably could, actually, because Canada and the rest of Europe didn't build much of a military. You know why? Because we're such good friends. We're really good friends. Why would you need a military if you're friends with the U.S.? The U.S. is going to protect you, and you have no risk of being invaded by them. If you suddenly flipped the script and said, oh, my God, we need to have something to protect us to be from an American invasion, they don't have the money and they don't have the time. Like Ukraine, they kind of had some weapons in place to deal with Russia because they knew Russia was a risk. Canada doesn't think America's a risk. They could be invaded very fast. It would be very stupid, though. I don't think it would last. I think what would happen, Americans and supposedly Canadians would vote the next president out. The next Republican president would lose. And then a Democrat president would take his place and he'd just give it all back. So it would be pointless. So he can't force them to join. They're going to outlast him and he should have presented the opportunity of becoming one country. He should have presented that in a different way, I think. So it's just not going to happen. But the Panama Canal, I think that could happen. And Greenland, I think that could definitely happen. He really wants it. If you have Greenland, you actually don't really need Canada, because the tip of Greenland will give you control of the Arctic highway. That's what it's all about. He's attacking the Houthis for that highway, right? The water highway. And then he wants the Panama Canal. Why? Because it's a shortcut that we built, because it's a water highway. And then Greenland will give you the North Pole, which is this new Arctic pathway as the ice melts. He wants the shipping highways, and then he wants to be the highway taxi man. He wants to say, you have to pay us to use this water. That's what he's going to try and do for the United States. It's not a bad idea. Even if we're the evil empire, it still works. If you got your competitors are all using that water to get rich, and you say, actually, that's my water now. You have to pay us to use it. That's not a bad idea for global, struggle for business, for dominance over who's the best trading partner. It's not a bad idea at all. That's why he's so adamant about taking Greenland. He really wants it. And then if you have Greenland, you don't really need Canada at that point, because you got your own checkpoint, right? You just need one of those two places. So I suspect he is going to take Greenland no matter what. And it's going to be super controversial. If you're an American, you can be against it for the principle. Like, you can believe in people having their own, sovereignty or stuff like that. Me personally, I think it would be good for Americans to acquire Greenland. And I think Greenland should consider letting itself be purchased. They're already not free, right? They're owned by Denmark. So they're not free now. So they should take a nice fat paycheck from the United States and just swap managers. Now, Denmark also should be careful too, because if the United States decided we don't need to make a deal with you, Denmark's going to miss out on a huge payday. So they could make a deal with America right now and get the payday, or they could miss out on that payday because the United States makes a move to just take it without their permission and, upset the EU. I don't think the EU has the military or the morale to go fight America. I just don't think they do. They don't have the young men who are willing to go die in a meat grinder. And I don't think that they have the military or the technology to win. So Trump's saying, hey, we're in the stronger position. We should go take the things that'll, lead to our prosperity over the next 100 years. And he seems to believe controlling the shipping highways is going to be that part of that prosperity, but also the rare earth, right? So he cares a lot about that. He wants the deal in Ukraine. He wants probably a deal with Putin. He wants Greenland and the rare earth in Canada. But Canada should be fine. They're just going to have a very bad 4 years. And they have to make sure to elect leaders that make the smartest moves for them. I think that Carney guy is going to win. He sounds like he's going to win, because Pierre, the problem for Pierre in Canada, by the way, is that he sounds kind of like Donald Trump. So Pierre, whatever his name is, Polivier or something like that, he sounds a little bit like Donald Trump. And since Donald Trump is so hated over there, I think his shot of winning's over. They're going to pick a liberal president over there, prime minister. Eddie Mendoza won Rocket Spot. You got it, Eddie. I hope the aliens invade in my lifetime. Oh yeah, like Mass Effect style. If the aliens are sexy blue girls, where their race only has girls, I'm cool with the alien invasion. It's odd we're going, America's so poor on the one hand and then trying to buy an entire country in the other. Well, it's a good purchase if it's full of minerals. That's one thing you can't really buy these days. Like, money can be printed, land cannot be printed. That's why no one wants to give up their land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I know the people of Greenland want to be free, but it's like 50,000 people on Greenland. That's less than a small town in Missouri. A small town in Missouri has more people than Greenland. So Greenland is so small. They could not defeat Denmark. They could not defeat America. They can't defend their island. And so they only keep that island because everyone says, we'll just let you keep it. Trump's saying, we're not going to let you keep it. You got to give it. And so that's where they're at right now. If I was them, I would I would negotiate for a very, very sweet deal from America. All right, 11. Here we are. Very nice. I don't think Europe can fight Putin and Trump at the same time. So how are they going to defend, how are they going to defend Greenland and protect Ukraine at the same time, So Trump's looking at this stuff, and he's not looking at it like we're all best friends. He's looking at it like, what's the single best move for us? That's how he thinks. He doesn't care about allyships. It's a very interesting time period. And what did I start out with? I said Trump could end up being like Napoleon. I think that's his risk. If he tries to fight too many fights with too many enemies at the same time, he's going to end up like Napoleon. And he's gonna cause us to lose at some point. He's got to have friends. I don't know what that looks like, but he's got to have friends. So, he can't be at war with the entire world. So he's got to be careful. Oddly enough, I think he wants to be friends with Russia. I bet you he's not saying that, but I bet that's what it is. He doesn't want to be friends with Ukraine. I bet he wants to be friends with Russia. He likes them better. And that's not popular with the rest of Europe. All right, guys. Well, we had a great stream. That was a nice 2-hour stream. I'll see you for the late night stream tonight, starting at, maybe 12:30 Central. Oh, we need to put someone on this. Guess a number between 1 and 20. Here we are at the giveaway. Sounds more like the Mustache Man. Here we are. I think that guy made a similar mistake where he tried to fight the whole world at the same time because he was arrogant. So you can compare him to the Austrian painter or to Napoleon. Take your choice. We are. It's very popular these days to call, the Trump administration the Mustache Man, whatever you want. I think there's a slight difference this time, though, because this time Trump's all the way on the side of the Jewish people. He's like, you're not going to come in here and talk crap on them. You're not going to side with their opponent. And we're going to help them blow up their enemies in the Middle East. So you have to agree with me that he's not like them in that one way. And that was like 90% of the Mustache Man right there. He really hated Jews. Here goes. What's up? 20. Wow, we landed at 20. Maybe that's because our conversation was so cool. PDX, guess 20 right at the beginning. PDX, you're going on. We're also going to add Anthony Kalura because he placed such a big order. Anthony Kalura. Yeah, so he is not like the Mustache Man that way. Trump is extremely pro-Jew, pro-Israel, and that's virtually the opposite of the Mustache Man. All right, there we go. Mr. Chexel. Alicia, she says, custom vintage packs, 4 of them. Let's open those custom vintage packs before we go, because you're going to be very sad if I don't do that. You ready? All right, jump down here. Can I get a bestie spot? Free Palestine. All right. Tossing that over there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we are. Oops. There we are. Yeah, the Mustache Man's whole thing was hating Jewish people. That was like his whole thing. And so Trump is like 1,000% on the side of the Jewish people. So it's a very strange Mustache Man. I think he's an authoritarian. See, that's now you can get some similarities. Authoritarianism. Here it is. Here's Coughing. Here's Kakuna. Here's Subat. He doesn't want to talk a lot about your right to side with Hamas. He says, whose side are you on? Oh, you're on Hamas's side? You're out. So that's kind of like authoritarianism. And because he doesn't want to have a long debate, tearful debate about who's right and who's wrong. He says, I'm on the Jews' side. And so you're out of here. All right, we've got, Hunter. Ghastly. Here's Slowpoke. Ooh, I like that. That's a no rarity Alakazam. That's actually a really sweet pull. No rarity Alakazam coming out of that pack. That's a good pack. Also had these nice psychic type cards here. Sounds like the Orange Man. He was too weak to face a blank canvas, so he went to war with the world. I don't know about too weak, but let's just say that he shouldn't have been rejected from art school. Whoever, we should know the name of the guy who rejected him, because that guy might have changed the world with that decision. Should have just, if he wants in to art school, look at that Kadabra. That looks great, man. If a kid, Wow, Psychic Mew from the Fossil set. So cool. All right, that's your Mew. If a kid ever wants into art school and you just don't think his drawings are good enough, and he looks like he's kind of this angry type, just let him in. Just let him in. Just let him in. Don't criticize his paintings. Just say, right this way. Oh, here's that, nice, the double Ninetales. All right, base set and Brock's Ninetale. It was a Jewish art professor. That's ironic. I didn't know that. All right, very good. I did not know that part. Yeah. Do not reject the kid who wants to be an artist. Just let him do the art. Just be like, right this way. All right, that is for Miss Alicia. Thank you so much, Alicia. No, but I think it is very fair to compare Trump to, like, Napoleon. Trump thinks he's going to beat the whole world, I think, right now. And that's always the mistake of these guys. They're not humble enough. They got to be humble. So he's got to stay humble somehow. And that is going to be his weak point. That's his Achilles heel, if I had to bet. Did you need a new bag, Miss Alicia? I think she needs a new bag. He's too confident. He won this really difficult political election, and so he's got the winner's high, you know, and he's like, I'm ready to bet it all. Let it ride. Maybe he wins. Maybe everything he tries works. Maybe we get Greenland. Maybe we get Panama Canal. Maybe it makes us rich. Maybe our trade deals get better. Maybe American jobs start popping up all over the place. High-paying car manufacturing jobs. There you go. Who knows? We'll have to see. In 4 years, we'll know. All right. Very nice. Yes, Ninetales. Yay! Thank you, Alicia, for the order. I really appreciate it. You're too kind to me, guys. So tonight, we'll be starting with Peter Fenelty. He wants the custom modern and a Poke Shuffle. We'll be starting that tonight. Now, I'm going to go hop off and cool down because this room is like 80 degrees. Why is this room so warm? Maybe you get rid of fentanyl. Yeah, maybe you get rid of fentanyl. That's a big deal. A lot of Americans dying to fentanyl, like 100,000 a year roughly. And I think the Trump administration was clever to state that that was more dangerous than any terrorist attack on America. So, yeah, I think the drug cartels are probably going to get attacked very soon. And, you know, the fentanyl comes from China, I'm pretty sure. China knows all about this kind of stuff. They had the Opium Wars. Remember that? The Opium Wars. They know about that because it's part of their history. And in China, their rules around drugs are insanely strict. They just put like 4 Canadians to death for selling drugs in China. And so they put 4 of those guys to death. They don't care what Canada thinks. They're like, we don't care. We're not extraditing these to Canada. We're killing them. So China's very strict on the drugs, and yet they don't mind that we end up having all this fentanyl pouring in, and it's likely coming from China, but it gets distributed by gangs that are presumably the gangs like MS-13, like the guy that Trump just caught. So, yeah, I mean, you know, this is the Opium Wars Volume 2, America, Electric Boogaloo. Mr. Taking orders? No, we're all done here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. It's 7 p.m. I already went too long. We're just having a really fun conversation. So I'm hopping off now. I'll see you guys tonight.